out there. Welcome to the portal. Let's warm up. So just opening the legs around shoulder width and drawing your weight into your feet. Noticing your feet on the earth. Feel it in the ball and the heel. And start to sway your hips side to side. Try to keep your head in the center. Send your hip out to the side so you can get that stretch. When we stretch the fascia, it strengthens. So I like to consider that I'm strengthening that external layer around my muscles, the holder, the container, when I'm stretching. We also create space in the muscles. I like to think of breathing air into my muscles. Giving them space to be. Nobody likes to be all crunched and squished for too long. Now take that into a circle. And again, your feet are on the earth and the toes, the heels, the balls, the edges, everybody is engaged with the floor down there. And the circle is as wide as it can be around your circumference. And again, staying in the middle with my head and chest and shoulders. And breathing deeply. And what kind of breath do you have today? Is it like the ocean? Going the other direction with your hips? Is it more like Darth Vader? Do you really want to keep your mouth closed, give the energy back to yourself? What feels good? Test it all out. What kind of breath? Engage with your breath and be sure, at the minimum, that you are working on elongating that breath so that we can engage the nervous system in a slow down or a presence that is mellow, is not anxious. So we stimulate, invite the nervous system to take a break when we elongate the breath and extend the exhale. So I've drawn my feet together. Now they are under my hips. And I'm going to bend the knees slightly and begin again with a side to side, but there's a different feeling in it now because my legs are closer together. And again with the breath. I constantly catch myself where my breath has paused with my thoughts. So keep your breath going. That's why it's nice to let thoughts go and try to stay focused on your breath, tuned in. So let's bring the arms up. And down the side. Again. This time up the center. Down the sides. Again. And again. This time interlace the fingers, palms up. Exhale down to the side, reach down with your feet, reach across and up with your hands, with your palms. Drop the chin, back to the center. Take care to have a strong tummy. Exhale to the other side. Draw the navel in for a little extra support, back to the center. Let's do one more round. Might be lighting up your armpits and shoulders. Inhale to the center, exhale to the other side. Back to the center, drop the arms, interlace behind yourself. Find yourself engaging in the legs, engaging in the thighs. Draw the hip points back as you bend from the waist forward. Halfway, relax the belly, engage the feet, the legs, and draw yourself all the way down, and maybe your arms fall into the front. And maybe not. Maybe they're back here and that's okay. It should feel good and maybe just push a little bit past your comfort. But it should not hurt or be so uncomfortable that it's unbearable. Try a little horse breath. Drop the arms. Hang on to the elbows here so you can go a little deeper. You might want to bend the knees. If you're not bending your knees, engage your thighs. Make a choice. Straight and engaged or bent. And engaged in the feet. Still engaged in the legs. Drop the arms. Place the hands on the earth and drop down onto your knees, curling the toes under. Sit back on the heels for toe stand. Draw the torso up and off of the heels. Give your foot that experience of stretching. Soften the face and the belly. Maybe you want to do a little rotating of the head. Nose circles, I call them. Arms up, draw down where your hands are under the shoulders, uncurl the feet, inhale the heart down, look forward, cat-cow. Exhale, draw the heart up, hands and feet into the earth. Inhale back to cat-cow. Exhale. Take the slow road. Take care that your elbow creases are inward, looking at one another. And open up the hip points and the booty to the back when you inhale and exhale. And draw the hip points toward the shoulders. So you're just opening wide here. And then reversing that spine. Stretch. Curve. And take a moment here where you might deviate from the plan. You might exhale and look at your hip, or you might want to drop your hips into a rainbow shape. You might like to do a little serpentine side-to-side action here. You might like to circle the hips, circle the head, circle the rib cage. And curl the toes under. Inhale. Exhale. Walk your hands back to your knees. Roll onto the balls of your feet and lift your booty up. Forward fold. Feel that stretch. Grab your elbows. Woo! Shake your head no. And yes. Engage the legs, the thighs, the feet. And then bend the knees and roll up from the mid-back. Let your head and shoulders come up last. And arrive to the top and inhale the shoulders up. Hold them strong. And when you exhale, just let them fall. Inhale. Compression creates space. Go ahead and give your hand a little stretch by taking the fingers and guiding them towards the earth, and then guiding the heel of your hand forward with your exhale. Keep the shoulder down. If you would like, you could take that same leg back for a stretch in the calf. A lunge. If you are lunging, take care that your front knee is over the ankle and that your hip points are forward. Drawing the sacrum down, keeping the ribs in, the belly tucked in, get a nice stretch, and if that's all too much, just keep it in the arm. If you want to do both, but you don't like multitasking, you can let go of the wrists, but make sure you give it a couple of nice circles first. And then the lunge. It's a step back, right? And you can undraw your heel to the inside if you like, or you can leave it lifted if it feels best. Either way, reach back through that heel and that back pinky so that you can get a nice hip flexor stretch. Keep the hip points lifted even towards the front. Draw the knees apart, the thighs together. My body wants to put the heel down today. And lift the heart gently as you keep the ribs in, tucked in, and just lift the heart. Draw down into that back pinky, into that front big toe. Front pinky, back big toe. The feet are strong. You might like to draw your arms up. Inhale, straighten up, straighten that front leg, and exhale and drop down for a stretch. If this doesn't feel good or stable, you can drop that back knee and draw the hip points back for a half split. You could try chin to shin for a different kind of stretch as well, or you can drop your chin to your chest. Try both. Okay, and wherever you are in space, come back to the center. Give yourself a ragdoll experience. Let your arms swing a little bit, shake it out, and find your other side wrist stretch. And again, maybe you do this all by itself. Maybe you hop into the lunge at the same time. You're doing the same leg, same arm. Leg goes back. So keep the shoulders down, keep the fingers pointed down. When you let that go, take a couple of circles. Focusing in on the lunge now, the hip points draw forward and level. Draw your sacrum inward just a little bit so it's not pooping out. Keep the front knee over the front ankle. Draw back through your back heel, your back pinky, your front pinky. You might like to just close your eyes here and really feel the power of the lunge. And arms up. Now, if you're looking at me thinking I can't do that, what's happening for you? Why are you feeling that way? Because this doesn't have to go very far, right? As long as I have this alignment here and I'm feeling a stretch in the back calf, it doesn't have to be this big old stretched out deal. All of my students across the board, even people up into their 80s, do this lunge. And some people hold a chair in front. So if that feels right to you, or next to a wall, you could just have one hand on a windowsill or something. So find a way that you can have the experience of lunge. Because lunge is something that releases fear, is what I've chosen to believe. I heard it in a workshop once, and I chose to take it in because it felt good and it felt right. And it makes my lunges feel powerful, and I imagine my fear leaving my body through my fingertips. And if you hold lunge long enough, you will find that your fingers will kind of start to vibrate energetically. So straighten that front leg, inhale, exhale. Hinge from the waist, find a stretch. But you'll find in poses that you can kind of feel a sensation in your fingertips. And I always like to imagine I'm letting go of things and recharging my energy. So this is what the half split looks like if you'd rather do it like this, drawing the hip points back. Chin to shin or chin to chest. I like trying both. Give my knee a little kiss. And wherever you are in space, come back up to the center and just be like a monkey here, like a sloth, kind of hunched over and round in the back, and start to rotate as if you're drawing a rainbow in the sand with your fingertips here. And see if you like drawing your feet closer together. And then start moving your knees, pumping your knees. And then leave one knee bent. Let's bend the right knee and then walk over to the right side and say hello to the right heel. And then walk over, bend the left knee, say hello to the left heel and ankle. Feel that in that opposite hip and low back, yes? Back to the center. Woo! 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 Roll yourself up gently or woo yourself on up. And let's make some noise. If you're in a space right now where you can make some noise, I'm going to invite it in. I do it in some of my yoga classes. It's a cool way to warm yourself up, especially for a performance or a creative process, because even though we don't always speak in our dance, we are speaking in our dance, right? And we're speaking with our bodies and our energy all the time. So horse breath, let's do that one again because it's pretty easy. But make some noise. And then we'll just do some laughing. If you're having trouble, just try vowels. I always like to do this until I'm actually laughing for real at myself for being such a nerd. But feels really good. Feels really good. It gets your stomach working. I always just, one of my classes, there's a room full of people. It's a rec center, so some people don't do the yoga. They play pool or doing other things. It's a senior center. But every time we laugh, we do just like 2 minutes maybe or 3 minutes. Everybody in the whole place starts doing it. It's really cool. It's really contagious. And there's a couple of men that do this kind of thing, and it's like this explosion of it's pretty cool. So try it next time you're in a group setting and see what happens. So join me, follow along somewhere and find a practice. Let's do something. You want to dance? You want to do some yoga? I'll see you in there. Have a beautiful day out there.